Hello all, it's your girl Tiffany, Madam Luscious Black Beauty, your poetic psychic Pisces, High Priestess, aka the light that shines like a diamond, also known as your modern day nun, one whom isn't within a coven, a convent, or a covenant. I do thank you all for listening and for watching on tonight. This is going to be a general reading for the overall collective of any zodiac sign. So please take the messages that apply, leave the ones that do not. And without any further ado, we are going to get into tonight's messages. We have the overall message of, can y'all see that? We have the overall message, I don't think y'all can see that well, of satanic religious abuse, okay? So that's what we're going to be speaking about on tonight is satanic religious abuse. Let me get this lighting right for y'all. Hold on. Okay, guys. So tonight's reading is pertaining to satanic religious abuse. Okay. So we are going to be discussing various different things, very wicked, very evil, sinister things that's going on within religious communities, churches, cults, if you will, okay? These things can range from rape, torture, terrorism, mind control, trauma, incest, devil worship, Luciferianism, the occult or a cult type of organization, brainwashing, sacrifices, rituals, as well as its connections to secret societies, okay? I feel like satanic, just like satanic ritual abuse, satanic religious abuse has been going on for quite some time, okay? So we have the first oracle message here of 7 sisters here, okay? And these 7 sisters, okay, are like the 7 witches. These are witches, okay, even warlocks that are within this satanic religious community of individuals here, which makes this more of a cult. These are on various different levels depending on which religious background one falls within, but this type of cult religion is pretty much within every religion, okay? It's just it is how it's gone about is done in various different ways here, okay? So there's a lot of the satanic religious community groups who have this communal living type of aspect to their cult, which these things go on within, this satanic religious community in which they are in, okay? And there's a lot of manipulation, control, trickery that is used to abuse members within this, this satanic religious group here, okay? Yeah. So we have speak up here at the bottom of the deck here, okay? I feel like a lot of people wish to speak up about this but feel as if they cannot here, okay? I feel like there are going to be at some point in time there may be more individuals coming forward and speaking out about some of these things that they are doing, or enduring within these supposed religious or type of cults in which they have been persuaded or forced even to partake in here, okay? With every cult, mind controlled, brainwashing is one of its main tactics. Persuasion over its members, okay? Yeah. That is going on. We have Temple of My Body at the bottom of the deck here, okay? So many of its members, many of the individuals who are in these religious, these satanic religious groups or cults, um, the temple of their bodies is not their own, okay? It is grossly being invaded by the cult leaders, okay? And this is where all other type of trauma occurs within the cults, okay? And these things are hidden, these things are kept secret, okay? These individuals are essentially being abused in the name of God, okay? So there is clearly a lot of manipulation that is happening in an effort to control its members, okay? We have alone in the world here, okay? So many of these individuals who find themselves within these cults, these religious cults, these satanic religious cults here, they find themselves alone. As you can see here, this person is naked. There's all type of clothing and attires and sheets and covers and different things that's thrown about here. They are taking advantage of sexually, okay? They're taking advantage of in a multitude of different ways here, okay? But sex is one of the main aspects within these satanic religious cults to control its members, okay? And this is done in various different ways here, okay? We have anger in chains here at the bottom of the deck, okay? So the individuals confined within these satanic religious cults or groups are angered by the treatment in which they receive, but many of them cannot find their way out. They can't find a way to escape here, okay? So with the chains, they are essentially being held captive and controlled, okay? Like any type of hostage type of situation here, okay? So anger and chains is here, coupled with speak up here, okay? People need to speak up and stand up, speak out about what is happening, okay, within these religious communities, okay? Because people are being manipulated, people are being used and abused in various different ways, okay? And like I said, it's a gross invasion. It's beyond sinister and evil to abuse someone in such a manner in one of the, one would assume, most sacred places, okay? To be deprived and to be traumatized and abused in such a manner, yet this is being done in the name of God, okay? As it is going on, okay? Spirit, please give me further clarification for satanic religious abuse here, okay? We have expectations here, okay? Now, we are talking about individuals who are their own person, should be able to think and do for themselves, okay? Yet they are being controlled, they're being used and abused in various different ways here, okay? So these expectations, like this is expected of them, manners in which they are expected to perform, duties in which they are expected to have within these cults here, okay? They should not need to seek anyone's approval, yet within these satanic religious cults, there are expectations of them here, okay? And if you look closely here, you look closely at her shoe here, you see the black and white Masonic color symbolisms here, okay, which lets you know there's ties to um, the satanic powers that be, ties to secret societies here, okay. But do you see this pentagram here and this circle in the middle of, or on her shoe here, okay? This is in reference to the Satanism, okay, that is within this satanic religious cult, okay. And if you look closer, you even see her here with this rose here, okay, with the blonde hair. The blonde hair is symbolism for mind control here. Okay, so they are mind controlled and brainwashed in various different ways. You see her with this rose here, okay, which speaks to Order of the Rose, which still goes into brainwashing, mind control, programming, and various different ways here, okay, which is what is happening in secret, okay, within these satanic religious cults here, okay. So this is happening, okay, on various different levels here, and it falls under various different religions, okay. From this abuse is happening amongst nuns. This abuse is happening amongst those of them who fall into other religious backgrounds here, okay. Whether you fall under you proclaim yourself to be Christian or Muslim, or there is the secret societies are connected to every one of these different religions, okay. The occult is connected and attached to every one of these different religions. So it doesn't matter whether you say you are Muslim, or you are into Hinduism, or if you are Buddhist, if you are Catholic, if you are, all of these things falls under every one of these religions, okay. Even those of them who are, say, like off the grid, okay, and those of them we've heard of many of other cults, okay, who are like these off the grid cults, okay. Even when it comes to those of them whom are Amish, okay, you all should look into the Amish witches, okay. These were actually persons and things that went on. So these things are within every religion, whether people like it or not. It is matter of fact. You can look these things up yourself. There is documented proof of all of this, okay. But it's done in various different ways as far as the cultism of it, the devil worship, the Luciferianism, the brainwashing, the mind control, brainwashing cult aspect of it. Even when it comes to Scientology is technically a cult, okay, and it still falls under satanic religious type of cult, okay. Any type of group or society or community, whatever other word you want to put with it to call your organization, anything that you are involved in that controls how you live, how you look, how you dress, how you act, how you behave, what you eat, what you do, how you marry, how you procreate, that controls every aspect of your life, technically falls under the lines of a cult. Period, point blank, okay. And we're talking about people in the world who are supposed to be free, who supposedly have free will, yet depending on one's background and beliefs, they fall into various different areas of these different religions, but they are all cults, okay? They all use mind control, intimidation tactics, brainwashing tactics, okay? And they are all, what they will not tell you, they are all worshiping Lucifer as their God. Just because they say God, just because they use other words, just because they have different versions of whatever Bible they use, they are all worshiping Lucifer as their God, and is what they do not tell you here. Okay, so we have whole and soul here. Okay, like I said, there is a lot of satanic, masonic, and demonic aspects into each and every last one of these satanic religious cults, satanic religious groups, communities, whatever you want to call them here. With this whole in the soul here, these individuals, from their leaders to their members, have sold their soul, okay, have secretly taken the oath to worship Lucifer as their God, and it's hidden behind the religious dynamic of what they supposedly stand for. But if you break down every religion all over the world, it will lead you back to Satanism, Luciferianism, devil worship, every last one of them. If you break down, and it will lead you back to secret societies, okay? You will find ritualistic practices. You will find brainwashing tactics, mind control tactics, intimidation. You will even find incest, especially within those who marry within their satanic religious community. That is for those of them who allow them to marry, because when it comes to the Roman Catholics and the nuns and different things here, they take this vow unto God, supposedly, and they're supposed to be like they're married unto God, but they live in a convent, okay? And these nuns are being abused behind closed doors, underground within the Roman Catholic walls of their covenant, of their, in what they're in. They're abused in various different ways. They are not allowed to marry, and because of the oaths and the vows, what is you think that these nuns are celibate, that they do not have sex, that they do not get married, and different things like that. But that is completely false. They actually do. Okay, they are forced to. Every aspect of their life is controlled, thus it is a cult, okay? And they are even told whom they can have sex with, and when they do procreate and different things, because of course, where there is sex, okay, no matter in what manner you are having sex with, you have individuals who will become pregnant. You don't know of this with the nuns. They're hidden out, okay? And these babies are taken and they're used in ritualistic practices. They're used to adopt out to other individuals high in power, or celebrities, or however they choose to do it. More often than not, in ritualistic practices as sacrifices and various different things here, okay? So which brings us to sexuality here, okay? You see how she's going inside of this looks like some type of religious tomb here, and this ties into the satanic religious cult here, okay? This is some type of religious temple here in which she is entering here, okay? But do you see how they have her on this card looking very provocative, looking very sexual, okay? Most people, when you think of religion, whether you say Christianity or any other aspect of religion, sex is the first thing that comes to your mind here, okay? And for the religions who don't totally ban sex, they claim that sex is only supposed to be held between a husband and a wife, and you have different religions that you're supposed to be married, or you have to marry within the brotherhood, or you have to marry fellow depends, like the with the Muslims and those of them whom are Hindu or Buddhist, or Amish or anything like that. Like the Amish marry within their community, okay? The Muslims and different things, they marry within their community, okay? And these are arranged, these are set up. It's not like people meet each other, they date, they go out, they decide to like each other on their own. These are arranged, okay? Marriages and different things that are happening, okay? But we have the sexuality here because there's another aspect of things that are going on and happening within this religious community. Okay, guys, so we're going to get into some other messages and see what else we have going on, okay? So yeah, we have courtship popping out here. So like I said, many the relationships that goes on amongst these satanic religious communities are arranged here. The partnerships, the relationships, the marriages, okay? Even those of them who fall under, you know, where they don't marry, which is predominantly like the Roman Catholic Church, okay? When speaking of the priests and the nuns and different things like that, okay? There is still courtship that goes on. There is still sex that happens amongst those of them within these occultish religious communities, as well as the marriages for the satanic religious organizations where they do marry. The marriages are arranged, okay? These are arranged forced marriages within their you know, the community of, you know, their satanic religious organization here, okay? Many of these individuals live in poverty here, okay? This is forced upon them, okay? Especially when it comes to the manipulation and the control over what they're allowed to have, what they are allowed to eat, what they are allowed to participate in, and different things. Some of these religions, somebody don't want me speaking about this. Some of these religions, like I said, are cults. They are run like cults here, okay? And even those of them who are these cults that operate off the grid here, okay? Or those of them who have formed their own communities, okay? Like the Amish, who don't use any type of modern day technology and various different things, okay? Which that in itself is understandable and actually has nothing at all to do with religion, okay? But it just so happens that with the Amish, they don't use any type of modern day medicine or technology as an aspect to their religious beliefs and different things. But they live in a very impoverished type of way, okay? And so there are certain religious groups that still fall within this, okay, that make their believers or their members believe that basically living in poverty or having less is the way of life, makes you closer unto God. There's a lot of different things that is manipulated, okay? These people are imprisoned, okay? They are stuck within these religious communities here, okay? Which speaks about the manipulation and the control that I spoke to you about, because they control every aspect of their life. In some of these satanic religious cults here, you know, one leaving or being excommunicated or something like that, these individuals may be hurt or harmed or killed or different things like that, okay? Certain ones of them, you could be shunned and kicked out and are not allowed to come back and various different things like that or whatever. But in depth, behind the scenes, they're actually other very vigorous things that happen and go on in an aspect to punishment here, okay? But these people are confined, they're controlled, okay? They're essentially held hostage within their satanic religious communities, just like those of them whom are, fall along the lines of the Roman Catholics who lives within their convent and different things like that. They're under lock and key 24 hours a day. They are not able to come and go as they please. They eat at are told to eat at a certain time, pray at a certain time, whatever they do, bathe at a certain time, do chores at a certain time. Every aspect of their life is controlled. We're talking about full grown adults here, okay, that this is going on here, okay. There's also another aspect to this, because there is, and the reason why these different satanic religious groups interconnect and conjoin with, say, secret societies, government, and various different things is this is how they get their funding, okay. Thus they are sold out to these satanic powers that be. Thus is the reasoning, and this operation being ran as a cult as it is. Even when you speak to Christianity, and this can be broken down into many different, you have your Methodists, your Pentecostals, your Baptists, your Church of God in Christ, your Presbyterian, you have your different branches of Christianity. You got your different branches of religion in every aspect. Now, remind you, they're all supposed to be worshiping the same God, okay, the creator God, okay. So, why would you have all of these different religions that's called different things that fall along the line of religion in various different ways? You're all praising and worshiping different ways and different things or whatever, but if you break down within each and every religion, it breaks down to the same dynamic. It is a cult, and they are in fact Luciferian. They are worshiping Lucifer as their god, and this is something that is hidden, okay. This is something that is hidden here, okay. So we have toll and labor here. These people are worked like servants, like slaves within their satanic religious cult that they are a part of here, okay. Even like I was getting ready to say, with the different branches of Christianity that you have with all the different religious styles here, even though their congregation and their members are, seem to be more free, able to live their life, come to church when they please, worship when they please, and different things like that. The how the church is run, okay, what programming is being instilled into their congregation, as far as what they see as right or wrong, sin or not sin, this or that, and like for instance, your Pentecostal people are still, they're able to come and go and live their life how they want to, but Pentecostal people, the women cannot wear makeup, often don't wear even jewelry. They only can wear skirts and dresses, okay, that, have to be long. Even when it comes to their skirts, they can't be short, they can't have splits in them. Like, it's very controlling, which falls into occult like mannerisms of brainwashing, mind controlling, and on various different levels, okay. When it comes to the men, of course, they're taught that men can't wear garments made for a woman, okay, and various different things like that. But Pentecostal even goes even into your sex life, okay. Now they're in your bedroom, now they're in your sex life, okay, and they still hoop and holler and preach about your fornications and your adulteries and your different things like this, that, and other, when it comes to relationship and things like that or whatever. But they even get in your business as in an aspect to your sex life, okay. Oral sex, and things like that. Basically, anything taboo sexually is a no-no with the Pentecostals, okay? And I've literally used to go to a Pentecostal church, okay, and literally have heard sermons about these things. Preached on, and different things like that. Okay, so it still falls along the line of controlling another's life and well-being, and for it, and it's more about manipulation and control than it is about teaching, okay, and preaching God's word, supposedly. But you still break down this Christian religion, and it falls along cult like mannerisms and operations, okay, and it falls along the line of mind control and brainwashing, okay, and they too link to secret societies. How do you know this? Because plenty of your church leaders within the church are Freemasons, okay, are in other types of secret societies and fraternities and sororities and different things. Fraternities and sororities worship Greek gods, okay. These, you're not supposed to, if you are religious, that's fine if you want to be a part of sororities and fraternities, okay, but you then say that you are a Christian as well and you are religious, when your religion in your Bible tells you that you're not supposed to praise and worship any other god but the Creator. You praising and worshiping and promoting Greek gods would then mean that you are sinning within your religion. So this is a contradiction. So if you claim that you are a Christian and you're in a sorority or a fraternity and you're within a secret society, all three of these contradict each other, because secret societies matter of factly tell you that Lucifer is God. Okay, now you can come in secret societies as with whatever type of beliefs that you want. Okay, you can come in as Muslim, you can come in as Catholic, you could come in as Baptist, you could come in as, whatever. But at some degree, once you get to reach to a certain degree, they tell you what the real beliefs are. They tell you about real knowledge. They tell you about what they believe and what they push, what they worship, and different things like that. And they keep this secret. And this has trickled down, because what they did is they took secrets, those leaders within secret societies, and had them to infiltrate churches. And this is how your secret societies and your government go hand in hand. And this is how your secret societies and your government controls the church. And so they are all in conjunction together. Okay? All in conjunction together. You can break down anything like this. You look at colleges and universities. They link back to secret societies. They link back to government. You look into sororities and fraternities, which you can't get in unless you are pledged, which means you go to college in order to do that, which means, once again, this links back to secret societies. This links back to government, okay? Especially when it comes to like your Skull and Bones and different things like that, like their main site is at a specific college campus, okay? Where they do mock human blood sacrifice rituals and things that has been recorded and is available to be seen. Okay, they do mock rituals with skulls and all kinds of sick, twisted things that they do. Okay, so what I'm saying is, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but what you cannot do is be a part of secret societies, be a part of sororities and fraternities, be a part of different types of groups and organizations and different things that contradict what you claim you are as Christian or as religious, because they all contradict each other, but they do on the surface from what they tell people and want people to believe. But behind the scenes, they are all worshiping Lucifer. They are all sold out to the satanic powers that be. They are all a cult. Okay, they are all devil worshipers, okay, which falls along the line, which is how all of these other type of tactics that are used, okay, as far as mind control, brainwashing, sacrificing, occultish knowledge, torture, rape, terrorism, trauma, incest, all these other things fall into place. And these things are done in secret behind the scenes in these religions. Okay? And this is where the unexpected income come from. Okay? This is where their income from these religious these within these religions come from. Okay? Because if you look solely at any religion, any religious community at all, these are technically non-profit organizations. They solely depend on the funding from elsewhere, which would then be seen as like charity. Okay? But we know that they get a lot more funding than that, just charity. This is also something that is hidden. This is also something that is done behind the scenes, okay? Because they are in fact getting funding from the government, okay? Within and which is why they have their secret society leaders and members infiltrating these churches, seeing what's actually going on, what's actually being said, how many members are in there, what type of wealth does this specific religious community have, okay? And they send in their scouters, they send in their handlers to get the leaders of these religious communities on board with the satanic powers that be. Thus, then, they receive this funding, which is why a lot of churches are what is called 501c3. You can call it whatever type of fancy name you want to call it. You are basically owned by the government. This is the reason why they push and uphold any and everything that comes from the government, period. They have to, or they lose their funding and they run a risk of their organization being shut down. How do you know this? The United States, well, it's not even just the United States. I feel like this is pretty much goes all over the world, but we can just look at the United States. Look at every other organization that came together where there were large numbers, large groups of people that came together in their own type of organization. Okay, look at the Black Panthers. Now, the Black Panthers wasn't specifically a religious community or like church base or different things. It was solely an organization for specific reasons, okay? But even they were infiltrated. Who do you think they were infiltrated by? The government. The government controls and wants to know what is going on inside of any type of organization where you have large amounts of people and you are giving large amounts of people certain information. They want to know what that information is, what's being said, what's being done, okay? And so then they send people in to infiltrate, to spy, to see what's going on. They report back to the satanic powers that be, which is those of them who are in the government. And this place is then infiltrated. Okay, because then what they do is send in their scouters, send in their leaders within secret societies to convince and coerce the leaders of whatever type of organization, religious or not, to conform and obey to the satanic powers that be. And this is the incentives that you get if you do so. That's how that works. Okay. Otherwise, if you refuse, then here comes the campaign to rid you of whatever type of operation you are running, because government cannot control what is happening behind your closed doors here, okay? So this is what is happening. This is what is going on here, okay? Within these satanic religious communities, okay, where there's all type of abuses that is happening here, okay? Many people are dying within these satanic religious communities here, okay? Blood sacrifices are done, okay? Different type of sacrifices, from human sacrifice to animal sacrifice. Various different sacrifices are made, okay, for various different reasons, because they have to pay their homage, because their gods have to be fed. Well, we know that they are not worshiping the God the creator, okay, because nobody requested of them to make such sacrifices in an effort to worship or to have the belief in the God, the creator here. Okay, so they are clearly worshiping some other false god here. Okay, but these sacrifices are being done here with the coffin card here. Okay, we have message of concern here. Okay, there's a lot of messages, information, communication that has gone out pertaining to these very things that is happening in secret within these satanic religious cults here. Okay, and it has very high profile, prominent people in power, in concern about some things here. Okay, there is a lot of money that is behind these organizations, because to this day these organizations are being used to control, whether you see yourself as religious or not. You can see yourself as religious, you can see yourself as spiritual, you can see yourself as atheist, you can see there is different things set up on various different levels, in different areas, depending on what you believe in, that is put in place to control the overall masses. Okay, and these groups, these satanic religious groups, are just a small portion of which is what is being used to control people, mind control people, brainwash people. It's just in this day and time. And the reason why religion is being used, okay, because you have to forget, you can't forget what the people have been told throughout history. Well, you were told that the United States of America was built upon Christian values, okay? You were told, and this is the reason why religion and slavery go hand in hand. You understand what I'm saying? You have to look at the individuals who rewrote your Bibles in different things. If you think of the slaves back then, they didn't create these Bibles. These Bibles were given to them by your slave owners and different people within that time. And this was used in a manner, in an effort to control them, to make sure that they obeyed, by scaring them into submission already because they were slaves, but also threatening them with, if you retaliate or do to us what we did to you in any way, then look, here in this book, you would be sinning. I mean, you even have people who are, even the Ku Klux Klan, think that they are doing God's work. Think that their mannerisms and the way they act and the way that they perform, that they are doing so in a Christian aspect. Okay, wanting to rid the world of African American people or brown skinned people. Okay, and this has been going on for quite some time. You can take this all the way back to neo-Nazi time, and back in Germany and different things, and how all of those people were killed in these concentration camps and different things like that. So this has been going on for quite some time, guys, okay? And it's been going on right up on your nose in various different ways. And many people can't seem to understand or even see at all how they are being manipulated, how they are being controlled with all of this, okay? It's just nowadays that Satanism is being pushed more than religion is now, but religion is still being used, okay, in a perverse way to manipulate and control people, for those of them who still want to be religious. You understand what I'm saying? All the other people. So that's what I'm telling you. It doesn't matter what you believe in, which side of the line you fall on, because somebody may hear this and say, well, I ain't religious. Well, guess what, babe? There's still things that is put in place for those of you who aren't religious, who aren't Christian, who are atheists or non-believers or whatever you want to call yourself. There are still things in place to keep you brainwashed, dumbed down, and mind controlled. Okay? It's just that these things are still in place, and they really want to do away with religion. Sooner or later, it will be. Sooner or later, it will be. And this is the reason why they are pushing. This is the reason why, this perverse change up has happened within religion in the first place. I'm telling you, they all worship Satan as their God, but they're too coward to admit it. They will never stand before their congregations and say so. Okay? And a lot of the things that they hoop and holler and they preach about behind their pulpits, they are hypocrites. Because behind the scenes, like I said, they're in secret societies. Behind the scenes, they are committing fornication and adultery. Behind the scenes, they are into homosexuality. Okay? Behind the scenes, they are into sacrifices, whether it be human blood sacrifices or animal sacrifices. Okay? Behind the scenes, you can even look into individuals who fall, from, say, individuals in Africa and their religious aspect of things. There are still rituals performed, sacrifices that are being made, cult way of living within the satanic religious community. Come back to America. Look at voodoo. In certain areas, people are within a voodoo community. They do voodoo like they are into voodoo like it is a religion. But guess what? It still links to secret societies. It still links to governments. There are still rituals. There are still sacrifices. There is still the aspect of brainwashing, mind control, trauma. So it doesn't matter where you fall along the lines of this. Okay? Even when it comes to witchcraft, sorcery, black magic, and voodoo, it all stems from somewhere. And it is all being controlled. It all leads back to Satanism, Luciferianism, devil worship is what it all links back to. And that's not quite what people are understanding. See, most people who sit especially within the Christian communities, those of them who go to church, you go to church and most of the people in the congregation sitting in the pews, go to church sitting in the pews. You are going to church because you believe that you are a Christian and you believe in God. Most of the people who are in that congregation are asleep. They're blind to the truth. They're still brainwashed and dumbed down. Most of the individuals in the congregation go to church and think that the leaders of the church are speaking of Jesus, speaking of God, the Creator, speaking of, and think that these leaders are righteous and upstanding and holy and virtuous, and they are not. These people are blind. They're brainwashed. They are dumbed down to what is actually happening, to what is actually going on. And this is what I'm telling you, because behind these scenes, they have no idea of how sinister, demonic, satanic, Masonic things really are. Okay? So there's a lot of people, regular, everyday, average Joe people, who proclaim to be religious, who go to church, who with an open heart and mind believe themselves to be religious, believe themselves to be Christians and believers of God Almighty. Genuinely. These are regular people in the church congregation, though. These people are not awakened to the fact that they are being lied to, that they are being mind controlled, that they are being brainwashed, that they are in fact in a cult that has them programmed. Because secretly, there are subliminal messages within those hymns, within those songs you sing. There are subliminal messages within that scripture you read. There are subliminal messages within the pictures and everything that's carved into the stonage within in the glass, in the windows, in whatever type of church that you belong to. These are hidden, secret, subliminal things that one who is brainwashed under mind control will not see, will not understand, will not. And thus, when someone like me come along and tell you you are being lied to, the leaders in your very church are in fact Satanists who worship Lucifer as their God in secret, and they are not telling you, they would argue me up and down. But if they did their research on whomever your pastor is, your evangelist is, your apostle is, your pope or your priest or whatever it is who you follow the leadership of, these people link back to secret societies which worship false gods, to government who worship false gods, to occult type beliefs. Okay, look into the brainwashing tactics, the mind control tactics, the programming tactics. Look into the things that you actually see, that you actually hear, that you can pick up with your ears and your naked eye. Start there. Starting there will lead you down an avenue, a path to somewhere else. And your mind will be blown as to what you will find. This isn't just about you believing what I have to say. This is about you opening your eyes, using your own mind, doing the very thing that the powers that be really do not want you to do. And that's for you to think for yourself. That's for you to use your own mind. That's for you to research and study whatever it is that you believe in. Because when you break it down and think about only reason you believe in whatever it is that you believe in, I'm not here to tell you what you should and shouldn't believe in. But the only reason why you believe in whatever it is that you believe in is because somebody told you. Just think about it. Whether it was your parents, your grandparents, school, or whatever. If nobody ever told you about a God, you would not know any God exists. Thus, you probably wouldn't go to church. The people who go to church are people who were raised in a church. As a child, you were taken to church. You were introduced to this. The only reason why you know anything about God is because somebody introduced this to you, told you about God, told you about Jesus, told you about Moses, Peter, Paul, Mary, and any other characters of the Bible. The only reason you know these things is because you were told these things. But you took what you were told and you ran with it. You believe the person that was telling you these things was telling you the truth. So you likely have never, unless you are someone who studied these type of things in college or something like that, you probably never researched. You probably never questioned anything. Why? Because your mama, your daddy, or your grandmother, your grandfather, your entire family went along with something. You went along with something. This is what you was told. This is what you were taught. This is what you went along with. And if you look at every aspect of your life, most things are that way. Most things are that way. And you can take anything. Why do you pay taxes right now? If nobody ever told you you had to pay taxes, if nobody ever told you what taxes were, you wouldn't pay taxes. You wouldn't know what taxes is. You wouldn't feel compelled to pay taxes. The government came along and told you what taxes are. They came along and told you why they were implementing taxes, when they were implementing taxes, and how much taxes you in fact had to pay. So the only reason why you know anything about taxes is because somebody at some point in time you learned about taxes, what taxes was, when taxes started, how taxes apply to your life, what you got to pay in taxes, and you have blindly went along with this. Most people in the world have blindly went along with this. You have no idea that taxes was created based off an experiment. The government wanted to fund a war, wanted to figure out a way that they can come up with more money. How could they get money out of the citizens? One, they scared you to death and made you think that there was a dire need for this war, that there was a major threat to your livelihood. But we don't have the money for the war. But if y'all only, if everybody, if you love your country and everybody could just pitch in such and such, and they got an outstanding number of people who overwhelmingly were scared, overwhelmingly were worried about their health and their well-being, didn't want to fall back into a depression, overwhelmingly worried about their country. So people pitched in. And then you know what your government did? Said, wow, that was easy. We're going to keep doing this. And so they did. And you've been paying taxes ever since. Whether there's a war going on or not. So you literally could apply this aspect to damn near everything in your life. At one point in time, people worked for themselves. You were bred on how to, you went from the moment you were born, you were literally bred. Growing up, you learned how to cook, you learned how to clean, how to sew, how to farm, how to build, all these things. Until time passed and jobs started being created to fill these types of positions. So at some point in time, people were urged to go and work for someone else so you can get money. And you need money to take care of your family. So do you see how this, back in the day, you know, if your wife could make jams and jellies, and you had one cow and you was the only one in the area who had a cow and you could milk, y'all made what you made, or your wife could sew and sew different things. And you went out and you sold these things. People in your community, in your neighborhood knew you sold those things, and y'all would trade, or either people would buy from you. This is how it went on for a long time. This was until time came along and certain different organizations started coming about. Factory stores, this and that, and people went to work in various different areas. Okay, but if you were never taught that, if you were never told that, if that was never an option, you had no idea of that, you wasn't aware of that, you would never have been part of that, right? So take this and apply it to every aspect of your life. Everything that you have ever been, everything you believe, everything that you know, is because somebody taught you this. Somebody told you this at some point in time in your life. It's just like when you're born. When you're born, you don't know anything. You don't know if you're a girl, a boy, a cat, a dog. You don't know what you are. Till you get old enough to comprehend and somebody has called you a girl. You know, your mom ended up saying, oh, this is my beautiful little girl. And you're in a dress and you're in girly colors, and it is instilled and drilled in your head. You're a girl. But of course, you got certain type of body parts that make you a girl and different things like that. But you don't know that when you're young. You know that because you got to some point, and when you were able to listen and hear and think for yourself and comprehend this, that, and the other, and you repetitively hear something over and over and over again. So then you grow up and say, I'm a girl. But this, in this day and time, is actually being perverse. Because you have people in the world who have boys. And parents are deciding to, say, raise this boy as a girl. And so as a baby, they could be dressing this big little baby boy up like a little baby girl. And telling him, you're a girl. You're a girl. You're just like a girl. You're a girl. No matter what type of anatomy he has, what body parts he has. But guess what? This is what he's going to believe growing up. So once he gets to the age, this is what he's seen, this is what he's heard, this is what he's been told. He's got no reason to think otherwise. So when he gets to the age where he's able to understand, he's able to comprehend, he's going to say, I'm a girl. That's what he's been told. So just think about it. I use that as an excuse not to make fun or be funny or anything like that for anybody to think that I'm just giving you different examples as to how the majority of the things that you live by, that you go by, that you believe is because it's only because somebody told you that. But you never question the person who told you that. Think back to whatever it is that you believe when you first heard it, when you first found it out, when somebody first told you. And why, and look at today, and why do you still believe such a thing to this day? If you haven't ever even thought to think about this yourself, research this yourself, look into this yourself, you are solely going off of the values of someone else and what somebody else told you. And it's like that with damn near everything. If you look at the color blue, how do you know the color blue is blue? How do you know what we think is blue isn't purple? How do you know purple isn't blue? Because when you got school age, or either, maybe your parents taught you some things before you went to school, told you blue was blue. Hey, look up at the sky. The sky is blue. And you went to school and you started learning colors and your teacher told you different colors. This is the color blue. Well, who decided that? Have you ever thought about it? Probably not. Only thing you know is you were told that the color blue is blue. Thus, when you see this color, you assume it is blue. How do you know yellow isn't orange? How do you know orange isn't yellow? How do you know any of these things? Somebody else named these things, called these things that, and said it's specifically this. And then at some point in time, it trickled on down to you. Thus, this is what you call it. Thus, this is what you believe. We have scholars here. Scholar, okay? These are the individuals behind the scenes. These are the individuals who are running these satanic religious cults, okay? These are the ones whom, and your scholar is someone who's knowledgeable, who's educated. You see how he's sitting here reading? This individual knows occultic knowledge. This individual knows the very knowledge that he is hiding from you. So he knows the hidden things, the secret things, but he comes and stand before you and tell you a lie, brainwash you, mind control you with what he wants to. He's a leader in a secret society as well. He's also a leader within your church. He also commands and controls this cult to tell you the mannerism in which you should have, the way of life in which you should have. How you should live, who you should marry, who you should have sex with, if you should have sex, and that the very one who perverts things in various different ways. But the fact of the matter is, if the truth be told, those of you who are living in this impoverished state, feeling imprisoned, while your satanic religious cult brings in all of this income. Okay, many of these individuals are in despair. Why? Because they're being manipulated, because they're being controlled, because oftentimes they're being raped, they're being tortured, they're being abused, there's terroristic aspects to what is happening. Okay, there's trauma, incest, ritualistic practices. Okay, various different things that are going on here. Okay? And even death. That sits right here with coffin. These deaths, these things within these religious cults are hidden. Are hidden. Spirit, please give me further clarification. Yeah. These children There are secret children that are born within these hidden satanic religious cults, like amongst our nuns. They're being abused in the name of God. These children are hidden. These children are often put to death in ritualistic practices. These children could be sacrificed amongst altars in the name of the demonic gods in which they serve. Okay? Look, fortune. These children are even sold to others as servants, to be abused, to be enslaved for ritualistic practices. It's a lot of money in this. This has been going on behind the scenes and no one has been aware. Okay? These hidden messages, these secret, these hidden weddings, secret weddings, these arranged weddings that are happening. Okay, you see this big temple here? These marriages are being arranged here. Forced upon its members and their way of living here. We got fortune, psi, consultation here. This is whom is telling them the ins and outs of this cult that they belong to. We have hope here. Okay? Even we have letter, falseness. These satanic religious cults are false, fake, phony, fraudulent, false. And they're manipulating individuals. And people are going to begin to figure this out. And this is going to be a great shock and a surprise as to what is really happening and going on behind the scenes as it relates to these things here. Okay? And even with concern here, look, we have concern. This is number 33. But look what sits behind it. Community. Community here. See, these are all of you who's going to these supposed religious temples. Those of you who are in these religious cults and you have just a little bit more free will, you can come and go as you please. You see how they look impoverished? They're poor. The leaders of your church are they? No, they live in nice big fancy homes, drive nice fancy cars. Especially these mega church pastors and bishops and reverends and whatever they call themselves here, okay? And see, these individuals are sitting in concern because they know they're lying to the people here. These individuals are sellouts here, okay? But they're only in concern because of this fortune here. They're in concern because they know they're lying to the people. And in this age of awakening, people are finding out the truth here, okay? They're bringing a whole hell of a lot of money in here, okay? And they know something big is coming here, okay? Because look, and then I tell you that your leaders within your church cults, your satanic religious cults, they're in concern because they know something is coming. They're in concern because they have lied to the congregations. They're in concern because they know something major, catastrophic is coming. And they're going to lead their congregations to the slaughter for the satanic powers that be. They're also in concern about this fortune here. They're also in concern because there is a major change that is coming in the distant horizon here. Okay? And what they have perversed here, which has been nothing more than an occupation for them. See, it was a job for them to mind control you, to enslave you in the name of God, brainwash you. Okay? secretly into devil worship here and hiding this from you here. See, they're in concern about these things here. Because the community, it's people like myself who's awakened and is telling you all the truth here. But they're still under the thumb of these official persons here who are controlling them. They're not telling you these persons are linked to the secret societies, are linked to the government. Okay? There's various different things that's happening, guys, that's going on when it comes to this satanic religious abuse. Okay? Various different things. And I feel like a lot of it is going to be brought to the surface, and people are going to begin to find out here, okay? Because when it comes to the government, they have a whole nother plan. They have a whole nother plan as to what is to come about, okay? Spirit, are there any other messages that I need to share with the collective? We have here church scandals, okay? There are all kind of secret church scandals that is going on behind the scenes, whether you hear about them or not, because many are covered up, many are kept secret, especially when it comes to the rape, the sodomy, the abuse of children here. We have religious cult here. This is what we're talking about, satanic religious abuse within these satanic religious cults here. See, there's going to be a major church scandal. Okay? Major church scandal that is happening, that is going to happen amongst all religions. Okay? Many of these, your supposed leaders of these different religions, okay, are secretly gay. They have partook in homosexual rituals, yet they stand before you, trying to right and wrong you about your life and how you should live. Okay? When they have all type of things going on behind the scenes here. We have abuse, mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, that is going on in this satanic religious cult, y'all. Okay? They are being controlled by the satanic powers that be. Okay? We have black witches here within these satanic religious cults. They're wicked witches and warlocks who are the leaders of these supposed religious organizations here. Spirit is saying that they are satanic sellouts. No ifs, ands, buts about it. They are satanic sellouts here. Yeah. Just seeing the... Oh, well, if it comes back out, then we'll take it. Spirit, are there any other messages, please, as it relates to the satanic religious abuse that is going on? Okay, Spirit, are there any other messages? We have witch doctors here. So we have witch doctors right within these satanic religious cults here, okay? There are blood sacrifices that are happening, okay, amongst the members of these satanic cults, these satanic religious cults, okay? Because we're not just speaking of any cults, because, you know, obviously just regular cults, you know, operate under sinister pretenses anyway, okay? But we are specifically speaking of satanic religious cults, okay? With these cults that on the surface they put on this show amongst people that they are holy, that they're sanctified, that they're righteous and upstanding. But behind the hidden dynamic of what goes on within their religious community, it ties into so many different things. Okay, guys? It ties into so many different things, okay? And every one of them, no matter what, okay? And they're all on different levels, okay? Understand that. They're all on different levels. It goes on in a different way, okay? So, but every one of them, you can trace back to secret societies, as well as the government, as well as devil worship, Luciferianism, Satanism, however one wants to see it, okay? And that is the point, because it's their connection to those things that leads into other things, okay? And I said that to say because, every one of these organizations, I'm going to say this, every one of these religious communities are all run like cults, period, point blank. Every one of these religious communities all link back to secret societies, government, as well as Luciferianism, devil worship, Satanism, okay? Every one of these religious organizations, they use a method of mind control, brainwashing, programming, and control and intimidation tactics, okay? Now, from there, certain ones of them are going to have the aspect of, say, rape or torture or terrorism, incest, and those type of things going on within it, okay? And they're sporadically scattered about, okay? So I just broke down to you how every religious community, what aspect they all have in it, okay? Now, all of them may not be into the rape, the torture, the terrorism, okay, or the trauma, okay? But we know of sex scandals that have come from the church, whether it is willing fornication and adultery happening between two willing partners who is sneaking and creeping and cheating around, okay? Or if it's the sex scandals coming from the church where it is children who have been sexually abused in some type of way through the church, okay? Now, many people are unaware when it comes to nuns, when it comes to those who are within these closed off, confined, hidden cults and religious groups, that there is abuses that's going on of these persons in here. There are sex ritualistic practices that are being had and that are being done, okay? But as far as all those other things, there's various different things that's going to branch off into different ways here, okay? Once again, here we have wicked witches here. So we definitely, it is matter of fact that there are witches within these religious organizations. No ifs, ands, buts about it, okay? Spirit is clearly saying that because that has come out more than one time. Yeah, there could be a lot of gossip that is going around pertaining to the things that's hidden, that's going on in these churches here, okay, guys? And don't be fooled. There is prostitution rings and drug trafficking, human trafficking that is happening under the guise of this is a church or a religious community. So people are not expecting those types of things to be coming from there. But it is most definitely is. We have here underground pizza. Children are being molested, are being raped, are being trafficked in some of these satanic religious communities. Okay? Spirit. And I'm going to tell you how it's done. Have y'all ever seen that movie? I believe it's the movie, I believe it's called Blood Diamond, if I'm not mistaken. And they were out somewhere. They were in this village. Okay. And this guy, he was like, he had like this African type of descent, type of voice or something like that. He ended up being in this village amongst these boys, and he was supposed to have been like training these boys on, you know, protecting the village and whatever else he was teaching them. Well, there was a part in the movie, and they only showed you, of course, the silhouette of it, okay, because they couldn't clearly show you on a movie child abuse. But he had basically took in these boys in this village, and he was training them on how to fight, training them on weaponry, and protecting the village and various different things. Okay, he was feeding them, taking care of all this other kind of stuff, overlooking like the leader of this village and different things. So the movie got to this point where he took a liking to this one boy who was like, almost how one would have like an understudy or a mentor or something like that. And this boy was like, he was like basically training this boy to be just like him. Okay. Where it came to a point in the movie. Okay. And so I say all that to say that the aspect of this was to show you like what was going on in that village. Okay. And of course there was a different storyline. Okay. But they were still being run cult like. Okay. And this was clearly like, off the grid, because they're out in the, in the field, in the jungle, wherever it was at or whatever, in the way of living of what was going on around the other story dynamic of the movie and different things. But these were kids. These were like, little boys. Okay. And there was like being trained to be soldiers. They were shooting, they was killing, like everything to protect their village and all these other kind of things. But anyway, long story short, these satanic religious cults and communities, they're being run just like that. The part of the movie that I specifically want to tell you that like literally makes me sick, because every aspect of the movie, other aspect of the movie was a pretty decent movie until it got to this point. He groomed that boy. And it just goes to show you how these individuals operate. Oh, they teach you things. They show you things. They tell you things. They even prove to you that they're there for you, that they protect you, or even feed you, especially when it comes to like this dynamic where it's like this communal type of living type of thing. And you're all there living together, there for one another type of thing. It's how they were living. Okay. And so he was training this boy. And it got to this one in particular part of the movie where him and the boy end up being alone. It was nighttime. And he was talking to the boy. I forget exactly what they were talking about and what he was saying or whatever. But they ended up showing the silhouette from it, okay? Because they showed them actually talking and what was going on, and the boy standing right in front of him. And then they, changed the camera up and they showed you the silhouette of it. And all you see is the shadow of the boy getting down on his knees. He forced this boy to give him fellatio. Now, this is a little kid, okay? That he was training how to be a soldier, how to kill and protect the village and everything else that he showed him. But he was, the point of the movie is he was grooming him all along. And he took a particular liking to this one boy. And then he preyed upon his emotions and made the boy believe that he owed him something. For him being there, protecting him, saving him, watching over him, feeding him, and all of this. And they showed the silhouette of the boy getting down on his knees and giving this man fellatio. Okay, guys? And this is how a lot of this stuff happens. Is the reason why I brought that up. In these satanic religious cults of what goes on with these kids when they get fondled, when they get molested, when they get raped, when they get, taken advantage of in various different ways here. Okay, guys? So I said that just to, make that point and how easily that these things happen. Okay? Spirit is saying that these fools are sick to death for real. Okay? They are not living by any type of religious dynamic at all. These individuals are under contract with these satanic powers that be. Blood contracts. This is how they're getting their money, their wealth. By following the orders, the rules, the regulations, the guidelines of these satanic powers that be. They use lies and deceptions amongst their congregation. Spirit is saying that these individuals are con artists. Okay? Spirit, are there any other messages that you would like me to share pertaining to this? Okay? Often in these satanic religious cults, there is trauma that is forced upon you in these groups. Okay? There's trauma on various different levels that is forced upon you. Spirit is saying these individuals are bad to the bone. Okay? And they do all their low down, dirty do-ins in secret. Spirit is saying that they are cult leaders. That's what they don't tell you. They hide behind the title of Christianity. They hide behind the title of religious community. When in fact, they are Luciferian devil worshippers, Satanists. Spirit says evil is as evil does. You all have been lied to. And this is the very reason why that Spirit has told you that the very elect in the last days, some of the very elect will be tricked. In the last days, some of the very chosen will be tricked. Some of you who are even a part of the 144,000 may even be tricked by these cult leaders and these con artists and these Satanists who have lied to you. Spirit, are there any other messages? There is going to be a specific satanic religious cult. Spirit is saying that there is going to be a church scandal that comes out. They're going to be busted. Somebody's going to be busted selling drugs, and it's going to lead back to a particular church. Okay? There's also going to be Spirit is saying these individuals are double crossers. These individuals whom they're really sold out to are these lizard people. These are the satanic powers that be. They follow the rules, regulations, and guidelines of these lizard people. Shape-shifting lizard people. Okay? There are secret hidden cameras within these satanic religious cults that captures um, a lot of the sinister things that goes on behind the scenes. Okay, especially those in these gated communities, okay, that have their satanic religious cults within gated communities here. Those of them who live off the grid in gated communities and various different things, there's a lot of sex addiction, okay. Them near everything with these people, they are obsessed with sex, okay. Even when it comes to initiation and various different things, it leads to sex. When you know, participation for this, that, and the other, it leads to sex. These individuals, there's a lot of sex magic that is done because it's the strongest form, one of the strongest forms of magic that there is, okay? Which taps into the fact that they are doing witchcraft here, okay? Spirit wants you to know that there is something that is being hidden about the person that you worship. Spirit wants to know, how strong is your faith? How strong is your faith? Because when the truth of what's really going on behind the scenes of these satanic religious cults, you're going to need faith. Okay? Because something is going to make breaking news about a lot of sinister shit that's going on behind the scenes in these satanic cults here. Okay? Somebody is a part of some type of one of these satanic religious cults, one of these churches, whichever religion it falls under. Your religious leader is a rapist, Spirit is saying. I told you, one of these religious cults are going to be busted for human trafficking as well as drugs. Spirit said, don't think it's a game when it's really not. Okay? I told you, Spirit is saying that these individuals are devil worshippers here. Many of these individuals who are confined and stuck and imprisoned in these satanic religious cults, many of them are, you know, that's the reason why we had despair come up here. Because they feel like nobody really understands what is happening and what is going on here. Okay? There is voodoo, black magic that is being used behind the scenes, okay? These individuals in these religious cults, they ain't no saints, okay? Spirit, are there any other messages that I need to share with the collective? We have betrayal here for the love of money here, okay? So people within these operations are betraying their congregations, have betrayed their religions, okay? Because for the love of money, okay? I told you. They tie and they link back to secret societies, Freemasonry, Illuminati, Skull and Bones, Knights and Templars, Jesuits, secret societies, people, okay? Fraudulent marriages are going on within many of these satanic religious cult communities here. Human sex trafficking is going on, okay? They are conjuring up and praising and worshiping demons here, okay? Spirit is saying that there is a major cover up that is going on within these churches, okay? A lot of low down and dirty things is happening, and Spirit is saying that these cult leaders, they're doing anything for money here, okay? Because they made a deal with the devil, but that deal with the devil don't last here. And that's the reason why we got concern here. We got message of concern and concern here. They're sitting in concern because they know that these things that's been hidden It's going to come to light here. People are going to find out that they're fake, they're phony, they're fraudulent, that they have lied to their congregations, okay? That they have grossly invaded, violated, and betrayed them in various different ways, okay? Yeah, Spirit is saying that the higher ups are pulling the strings of all the puppets. All of these cult leaders who are the head of these churches, of these religious cults and organizations and different things, the higher ups, which are the satanic powers that be, are pulling the strings of them. They're nothing but puppets. They're being controlled. Okay? They're being controlled by shapeshifters. Okay? Yeah. We have here satanic powers that be. This is who they're being controlled by. The satanic powers that be are shapeshifters, y'all. Okay? They have a lot of family secrets as well. A lot of family secrets as well. There are all kinds of satanic rituals that are being done here, okay? There's a lot of addictions within these satanic religious cults and communities that you all are not aware of, because you think they holy, they saved, they sanctified, they delivered, they righteous, pillars of the communities. But there's a lot of toxicity, from sex addictions to drug addictions, alcohol addictions, porn addictions, okay? Even gambling addictions, money addictions. There's a lot of deception, y'all. A lot of deception. Individuals, children within these cults are being pimped out, are being passed around, are being molested, are being raped, are being turned out. That's why oftentimes they are coming out as gay. It's because they were turned out. They were molested. They were raped when they were younger. They were groomed that way. Okay, they have to offer sacrifices to these satanic powers that be, these leaders, these cult leaders as well. So it's not just them bamboozling their congregations and their members of their organizations. Oh yeah, they have to pay their homage as well. And the most sinister of which that they do is done in secret amongst these satanic powers that be here. Okay, their same-sex initiation rituals. Okay, their initiation into the secret societies and a multitude of different things that they have to partake in. The sacrifices, the rituals, various different things. Animal sacrifice here, okay? Casting spells on you. These church members, the witches and the warlocks within these churches, they cast spells on the congregation. They cast spells on their members. Okay? Spirit, are there any other messages? Okay, we have hocus pocus here. So we're talking about a lot of black magic, voodoo, hoodoo, hexes, curses, and spells that is going on. Many of these people, especially the ones who are living in these gated communities, this communal type of living, they have sleepless nights here, okay? A lot of third-party situations are going on. And those of them whom, and it's a trip, because even those of them whom are, you know, used to this lifestyle, this way of living within, you know, whatever religious beliefs that they have and everything, they're so adapted to it, so accustomed to it, that many of them feel as if it is normal. Those of them who are so deluded, so brainwashed, so under mind controlled, have been groomed all their life within a specific religious cult. They're loyal members to it, to the point where they have grown accustomed to even being afraid, not being a part of that organization, even though they endure the various different things that they may endure within that, because that's the fear that has been instilled in them. Okay, but many things are about to be exposed, and Spirit is saying that they are about to get locked up here. There are some supposed spiritual leaders, religious leaders, who's a part of a lot of sinister things that's been going on about behind the scenes. It's about to get locked up, okay, for things that they have partook in and that has been going on here. Okay, Spirit, are there any other messages that I need to share with the collective? We have abusing their power and authority to manipulate and control. This is what it's all about, people. We have black magic here as well. Bullies as well here, okay? Those of you who fall along the lines of Christianity, you are Christians and you go to specific church, your pastors are nothing more than pimps. Literally. They're nothing more than pimps. There's also human experimentation that is going on within some of these satanic religious occults, like Scientology, so see, this is what I'm saying. It's so many different ones of them. It's certain things that is going on within certain ones of them, okay? And your Scientology falls along the line of New Age religion, okay? So it doesn't matter whether you believe in the Old Testament, believe in the New Testament, whether you are into New Age religion or whatever age. Okay? It still ties into secret societies. It still ties to the government. It's still linked to royal status individuals. It still links back to the Roman Catholics, okay? Whom all these religious leaders, no matter what they fall under, are taking orders from within the United States, at least, okay? Because these things are even going on outside of the United States, okay? But, they have those of them who are high up in power. It's the same thing that's happening, okay? It's just different individuals that's running it in other countries and different things, okay? Their religious organizations and beliefs and different things still links back to those of them who are high in power, links back to those of them who are part of secret societies and governmental type of organizations, those in the shadow government, the elite powers that be, the individuals who run, rule, and control the world. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, Spirit, are there any other messages? Yeah, a lot of these individuals, Spirit is saying, is suffering in silence here. They can't get out. They can't speak out. Okay. Okay. There's a lot of them who are having children out of wedlock. Okay. Many of these nuns, many of these individuals, or those of them who fall along the religious aspect where they're essentially supposed to be married to God and they're vowed to celibacy for the rest of their life and all of this. They are not, okay? They are used and abused. These individuals are raped, okay? They go through various different levels of torture, okay? They are even having children behind the scenes and nobody is even knowing, okay? And I'm telling you, there are ritualistic practices that is happening with these children that are being born, okay? They are being blood sacrifices, or they're either being sold to others in power or wealthy, or there's various different things that's happening to them, okay? Various different things. Spirit, are there any other messages that I need to share with the collective? Yeah, somebody, we have Mr. Casanova is a rapist here. Somebody's religious leader is a notorious rapist. Okay? And he's bad with it. He'll just take it. He don't even put forth any effort to try to groom you and trick you into going along with this. Whoever he is, he's notorious with it. We have the mark of the beast here. Okay? But whoever he is, he's a rapist. I'm not really sure which religious dynamic he falls under. But he is a rapist. He's raped, I feel like, several women within his congregation, within amongst his members. Okay, and maybe they have been sworn to secrecy. This individual could have even made babies amongst multiple people within their congregations. There was a minister not so long ago that something happened to, that it was being exposed. Like, he was telling people, he was telling the women in his congregation, if they drank his sperm, that they would be blessed, and they will be healed and all kinds of things. He was convincing others that, he was so blessed and ordained by God that if they had sex with him, that they would miraculously be healed and blessed and helped. Like, you got these religious leaders who literally perverse a lot of these things, and you've got brainwashed, mind controlled, dumbed down individuals that fall for this and literally think, oh my gosh, God is working through this person. God said this. No, God did not. They're lying to you. This is how all these third party situations are going on. Okay? That shit is crazy. But I mean, like, this is literally, you can look that up. And I feel like, I think he's I want to say that religious leader, he may have been from a part, I don't want to get it wrong, but I want to say that he was from a part of Africa, I think. He may have been Nigerian or something like that. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head here. Satanic cults just popped out here. Okay, these people are going to be implementing, as well as pushing onto their religious cults, the RFID chip implant as well, which is something that the satanic powers that be, the government, wants them to push um, as well. And that's going to be coming, that's going to be happening very soon. A lot of moon magic, different types of magic is going on amongst these witches and these warlocks, these Satanists that are within these groups here. Okay, people have no idea just how many witches are right within the church. Okay, on various different levels here. Okay, witch practitioners. Okay, who casting spells on you, your relationship, your children, and some of any and everything else. Okay, yeah, Spirit is saying that these ops are taking bribes behind the scenes because of these satanic cults that they're running. They're taking bribes by the satanic powers that be. I told you, we already had the card that came out that said that the higher ups is pulling the strings of all these puppets here. Spirit is saying y'all can't trust nobody. I know you know, in a perfect world, you would think that, at the very least, if you were Christian or religious in any type of way, that there would be some type of outlet of someone who could counsel you, help you, and different things like that, or whatever. Spirit is saying you cannot trust these people, because these people are not pure, they are not honest, they are not upstanding in any way. Okay. And that's not to necessarily say that that there are no persons who believe themselves to be Christian or religious who don't truthfully and honestly believe in Christianity or religion. Okay, but what I have found is those of them who are, they have very, very small followings, and them being flashy and flamboyant and having the biggest, grandest type of community or organization or church, is not, is the least on their list. They're just about, they're in a more of an aspect of wanting to kill people and help people. Those of them whom I have found who are truly and honestly solely by what they have been taught and what their beliefs are. And these individuals, sadly, many of them are still blind to the sinister dynamic, to the things that is happening within the government, amongst these satanic powers that be, and various different things like that. Okay, yet these are still persons because of what they were told, because of what they were taught. They are still proclaimed to be Christians. Okay, so this would be like someone who was once just that regular average Joe individual who went to church. Okay, just a regular member of the congregation. And they, got to the point where they believed in Christianity so much that they decided that they wanted to start their own little small, it might have started off with, say, Bible study groups, and then they decided that they were going to have their own little small little Christian, little community of people. They may have, 20 members, 30 members or less, or something like that, or whatever. Okay, those are the only persons that I have found to maybe be the most genuine in the fact that they're of their beliefs. Okay, that may not be a part of all these other sinister aspects of it. Okay, but when you look into any religious background, on the surface, in a whole, as to what these people believe, what they are following, what is being taught, what is being said, studying this, researching this, going through multiple different avenues, you will start to be able to connect the dots to various different things. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of these things should not connect, okay? And then you have to look at the beliefs within the organization, okay? What they're telling you as to, what this religious, say, organization means to them. How one is supposed to carry themselves within this religion. What are the beliefs of this religious organization? What, goes on, the different ritualistic aspects of it. Okay. And that's when it goes into more occultish types of things, more hidden types of things that you will find. And then you will see how it begins to connect to other things like government, like secret society, like, false god worship, and a multitude of different things that should not connect, should not have anything to do with religion, Christianity, or anything like that. Okay, because we should see these things as separate. You understand? And the easiest way to do this is see how they took any religious dynamic or aspect to religion out of schools. Okay, so now if you go to a regular school, you go to public schools, anything religious based, like you can't even pray at school. Okay, they feel some type of way, like you can't even say a silent prayer to yourself at school without this being a problem. Okay, or bring your Bible or anything like that or whatever. But you see how it came along and they separated this. So now when you say if you're somebody who goes to public school or get a public education, okay, it is separated. This is school. This is church. You understand what I'm saying? There should not be a connection to the two. So with these satanic religious cults, if you really look into it and really study what is going on and what is happening, you will be able to connect your religious organization or church or foundation, whatever you want to call it, to secret societies, to fraternities and sororities, to government, to the occult, and cult-like factors and way of operation, to ritualistic practices, to all of these things end up connecting. Okay, and none of them should link when speaking solely about religion. Okay? But this is how you know that your churches are being controlled by the government. Because, like, and you know this because when things go on health wise, we're going to say that within the government, and it's something that they're trying to push on everybody. When you can go to your church and handle, say, a health matter that is being pushed by the government, you know that your church organization, your religious community is working hand in hand with the satanic powers that be, with the government, with secret societies, because they're the ones who is pushing this. You understand what I'm saying? When your church or religious organization has, say even when it comes to voting, there are certain churches, religious organizations, that they are such mega massive sites and different things. They may have voting booths and different things like that. Why in the hell? This clearly lets you know that your church, your religious organization, has clear ties to the government, to secret societies, to various aspects of different things. Whether what your political beliefs are, who you vote for, how you vote, where you vote, has nothing at all to do with your religious community, with your church. These two should not combine. This is how you can clearly depict whether your religious group, your church, has any ties to the government, to secret societies. Look at its operational functions. Look at its sponsors. Look at its funding. You can look at a multitude of different things to find these things out. Okay, guys? So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. But Spirit is saying that this whole situation is just nothing but a low down and dirty shame. Once again, we have family secrets. Shh. Okay? I feel like these family secrets are going on within these leaders of the church's families, as well as individual families of those of them whom are very prominent, active members in the societies of these organizations here, guys. Okay? Yeah. But what they don't understand is it's about to be game over. Like, seriously, because something major, I'm telling y'all, is going down. Like, I don't come on here and necessarily talk to y'all about a lot of these topics, okay? I just tell y'all what Spirit wants me to relate to y'all. This has absolutely nothing to do with my own personal beliefs, my feelings, my desires, forcing you to do something you don't want to do, be a way you don't want to be, or anything like that. I relay the message to you that is given to me, okay? I am a messenger. I am a prophet. Okay? I have been sent here to heal and to help by any means necessary. And if there's something that I can say or I can do that awakens you, that teaches you, that guides you, that uplifts you, that helps you, that heals you, that encourages you to use your own mind, think for yourself, look into something you have never looked into before, research something you have never researched before, study something you have never studied something before, learn something you have never been told or taught before, then that's what I'm going to do. And at the end of the day, I feel like you're your own person. You can do what you want to do. Okay? Spirit is saying that a change is going to come. Okay? There's going to be game over with a lot of these things that's happening, because a major shift, a major change is going to come. And that's because this rabbit hole goes really deep. If y'all really knew the sneaky, freaky, creepy, low down and dirty do-ins that is going on amongst your leaders within the church, leaders within these secret societies, leaders within the government, leaders within authority figures, leaders on every aspect. This rabbit hole goes deep, y'all. to the likes of which that a lot of you probably can't even understand. Okay? Like, seriously. There's going to be a lot of conflicts and battles that is going to come from what's getting ready to happen amongst the Christian community, the religious community, okay? Whatever you want to call it here. These individuals are just doing rituals to disrespect the dead. There's certain rituals, okay, that is being done, and they're disrespecting the dead here. Spirit is saying that the enemy is big mad. Maybe because I'm telling you these things, okay? Maybe because these things are coming out, or, you know, they could be, you know, big mad for other reasons, okay? But there's a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes, okay? Especially when it comes to the realization, we have royal status here, okay? So clearly now we have a connection aspect to this that links back to even those of them who are royal, okay? There's a lot of different things that's going to be coming out on these individual leaders in these religious organizations. Sex tapes. Okay, there's going to be all kind of ultimate betrayal here. This is ultimate betrayal of what's going on, what's happening, what I'm discussing with you all, okay? Because it has all been for the purposes of wealth, of power, of status, and privilege here, okay? Once again, we have here Decepticons going to jail, okay? I'm telling y'all, guys, there are nuns who are being abused. In the name of God. Very sickening. In the name of God. Many of these people are overwhelmed by demons. There's all type of satanic, masonic, demonic things that are conjured up. Okay? Demons that they worship, that they praise, that they conjure up, that they call upon. I shared with you all the other day this vision that I had, and I actually had it a long time ago, and it tripped me out because I'm not sure why I was so drawn to it. I don't know if one of my previous past lives, many of these ministers, pastors, deacons, bishops, religious cult leaders have drug addictions too. I don't know if one of my past lives I lived during a time of like communal type of living was going on. But I have this drawn connection to nuns for some reason. For me to know this, because when I first had the vision, I didn't understand why I was seeing it. Like something that was going on, especially behind, especially on a level where damn near everything about them is like top secret, is hidden, okay? And it's done behind massive closed doors and different things. But I was seeing this for a reason. And I talked to you all about this the other night in one of my other readings here, okay? There was this nun, like I see a group of nuns, like there's individuals in these black robes. It's like some of them are in black robes, and I see some of them in white robes, okay? Covered from head to toe, and there's like these candle type of things lit, and then there's like this huge cross. Well, they're in this circle type of thing, so it's like every other one are in black robes, every other one are in white robes, and they're in the circular type of thing, and there are candles and different things that's lit around, and there's this huge cross that's in the middle, and it looks like it's gold, or something. But there's some type of, I don't know, ritual or something that's going on. But I was getting ready to say nurse. Somebody that's a nun used to be a nurse before they became a nun. And then maybe this person that I'm seeing. But this could be anywhere. Roman Catholic churches are like everywhere. Okay, this could be within any convent. This nun has nothing on except for the shield thing that it covers the whole head and goes around the neck and it comes down. Okay, that's the only thing she has on. She's butt naked beneath that. Okay, and she's hung up on this cross. Okay, and her, almost how like they depict Jesus on the cross is how she's hanged. But she's not nailed to this cross. She's like, it's tied or something. She's tied to this cross. But this cross is standing straight up. And she's on this cross. She's tied to this cross. And there's something else because these ropes spread her legs apart. Okay? Because her legs are making a V. Like her legs are spread out like this. And her arms are stretched out either side. Okay? And she's butt naked on this cross, okay? And so I don't know if this is a ritual, like to punish her, if this is some type of initiation ritual or something. It's some type of sexual ritual. And I see these different objects that she's like poked and different things with, even things that's inserted in her. And there's like blood dripping down her. It's some type of ritual, okay? But I was seeing this vision. I had this vision like a long time ago. And it was a recurring vision. So there is some type of ritualistic practices that goes on amongst nuns, okay? They are raped and forced to have sex with like priests and clergymen and other things, okay? And many of them become pregnant. And it's interesting because y'all remember back in the day when they actually had orphanages, okay? There would like be all these babies in these orphanages, okay? And they would sell these babies and give these babies out to various different people looking to adopt, oftentimes wealthy people in power and different things like that. Of course, they had their free will picks and chooses over the babies that they wanted and different things. But these orphanages were literally run in these convents, in these at these Roman Catholic churches and different things. And even if you look at this, you see how she's sitting here naked, okay? And this building back here even looks like it's some type of like convent, some type of huge type of a building, something that's hid off, and this is in some type of part of it or whatever. But there are nuns who are being physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually abused. I know it, okay? And it's a shame because Spirit is saying willing slaves. I believe these nuns go there willingly and blindly. They go there willingly because of their belief, because of their faith, and these other things that happen to them and go on happens thereafter. Once they're there, they're stuck. It's not a day that comes where they say, you know what, I don't want to be a nun anymore. I'm ready to leave. I'm going to go. Let me out. They're stuck there, okay? Because there are things that is like, I feel like there's oaths that are taken. There are things that they are shown or find out and know, and they would run a risk to them speaking out about this. But there is something that y'all can research. There is actually a lady who was a nun, and she told her story It's on YouTube somewhere. I forget her name. I seen it years ago. I'm not sure how she escaped, how she got out, but she talks about the abuse that she suffered, being physically abused, being sexually abused, and the rape, the torture, the terrorism, the trauma, the various different things that she went through as a nun, and even the treatment of other nuns. And this is a hidden little nasty secret, okay, that has been going on for a very long time. Okay, and whether these nuns, willingly go there or not, because Spirit says they're willing slaves. Okay, because it is not something that has been asked of them by God to do. It's something that they think that they have to do in order to be Christian or in order to be religious or something. So it's a vow that they decide to make unto God. But this is grossly perverse once they are there in the treatment that they receive thereafter. And many different nuns, like you have nuns who become nuns willingly, but you have nuns who gets ordered to certain convents. Okay, kind of like how the movie Sister Act showed you. Some of those nuns are there willingly. Some of those nuns are sent there, like those of them who have a history, like if they say maybe they grew up, say maybe you have a person who grew up an orphan, who didn't really have family like that, okay, and once they were on their own as a teenager, like 18, they became, some type of delinquent, got in a lot of trouble, but this person still has no family and different things or whatever. At some point, whether it was court ordered or mandated by, the state or the government or something, they were ordered there, okay, to stay there for the remainder of their life, okay. And so there's a lot of them whom are there, and they're stuck in unfortunate poverty here, Spirit is saying. And it's kind of like Sister Mary Clarence was on Sister Act. Because if you remember, she was, this Las Vegas showgirl, and she was messing with this gangsta type of a guy that was into, drugs and guns and gambling and all other kinds of things, okay. Well, she witnessed a murder or something, okay, and they were after her. They were trying to kill her, so they ended up hiding. The police decided to hide her in this convent, within the church, and in this convent here, because it's locked, it's closed, you can't get with it, like that or whatever. How she ended up being there. There's many other nuns who has similar situations where either they have no family, or they came there on their own, or even there's even persons who say gave up their children, or at some point in time, whether they were teenagers at the time or kids or whatever, and they grew up in these convents and different things. But you do have a vast majority of nuns who have been, loyal, faithful Roman Catholic members, and have decided to, pledge this vow to God and want to become nuns, or various different positions. Just like any other church, there's various different positions that one holds within the church and different things like that or whatever. So you have a lot of them whom are there willingly, okay. I'm not saying that all these people, all the nuns there, and all of them have been abducted and forced to be there or whatever. There's quite a bit of them who have gone there willingly. In Spirit are calling them willing slaves, okay, because they are in fact slaves. Every aspect of their life is controlled, and the individuals who are highest up, where there is the mother superior, or the highest priest, and all the others around them, control every aspect of their life. Okay, and so because of this, they are slaves. Okay, guys. So a lot of things are going on. Okay, a lot of people have been harmed. Okay, and what they have endured, in various different, of these satanic religious cults. And like I said, from one religion to the next, from one faith base to the next, there's different things that's happening in them. Okay, from the child abuse to rape to torture to terrorism to trauma. Okay, to incest. Okay, those, it's only certain ones of them that may actually matter of factly have those things going on. Is other ones of them that subtly have those things going on, but it is hidden. Okay, like really really hidden. Okay, um especially when it comes to those of them who have more of a religious, type of church, where people can willingly come and go and things like that. Now it's a lot more, it's done a lot more open, in secret yet openly, amongst those who are in gated communities, amongst those whom are confined within their religious cult community and different things. It's done in a different manner with those of them who fall along, say, Christianity and religious, practices, where the people can technically come and go. It's done in a different way. Okay, because now, then, in order to abuse children and teenagers, then the family of these individuals are sellouts to the satanic powers that be, as well as to this church. Okay, which means that they are in agreements and an allowance of these things happening, and this being passed along through their bloodlines of their family, and how it makes up the other dynamics of other things that's going on in the churches. So a lot of things are done in different ways, but it doesn't matter whether religion, whether it's it doesn't matter what religious organization, cult, group, church, or whatever you want to call it, it is. They absolutely all link back to secret societies, to the government, to ritualistic practices, to sacrifices, ritualistic sacrifices being made. They all have a occultic knowledge aspect as what is taught, brainwashing, mind control, programming, and every one of them, in fact, are Luciferian. They worship Lucifer as their god, which means they are devil worshippers, which means they are Satanists. Okay, so this stuff happens on various different levels, guys. Okay, so hopefully I was able to break that down in a manner of understanding for those of you. Okay, I don't want somebody to feel some type of way just because you proclaim to be Christian, or you proclaim to be Muslim, or you proclaim to be of whatever faith, and like, I'm not into that, this is not going on. You are on a lower level of it. But if you use your mind, do your research and your study, okay, I promise you, you will find what I am telling you amongst your leadership, amongst the elder members of your church and the organization, and what is really happening and what is really going on. Okay, and I'm saying this to people who would feel that way, who are actual true members, true believers, true faith bound to whatever it is that they believe in. Okay, it doesn't matter that you say you're Muslim, but you are not an active member of that community like that. Okay, it doesn't matter if you know how many people say they're Christian but they're not active in the church. You know how many people say that they're religious but they're not active in any type of religious dynamic. So then you cannot argue with me to say these things are going on. How in the hell do you know? you're not even faithful to what it is that you claim that you believe in. Okay? Because those of them who are there, who run, rule, and control it every day, who live it every day, morning, noon, and night, knows exactly what I'm saying is the truth. And it's going on behind closed doors. Okay? So think before you react. Okay? Yeah, we have the Seven of Swords here. Spirit is saying that there are a lot of this. The Seven of Swords talks about manipulation and control. It talks about sneaking and creeping, one trying to get away with something. It talks about lying, cheating, stealing, manipulation that is going on within these satanic religious cults, okay, where this satanic religious abuse is occurring. Yeah. See, people are hung in suspicion, hanging around, waiting to see what's going to happen. And this is the majority of the individuals who are in, just the regular, everyday, average Joe persons who are within these religious communities. You are being fed these lies. These people are robbing you blind and all of your tithes and your offerings and all these other things while they pump lies in you, okay? Why they mislead you, why they manipulate you and control you, okay? When you get the truth of this is going to cause major heartache, major heartbreak. Y'all, I was saddened. I was hurt more so by the church. When I went through my awakening and I woke up to what was really happening in this world, what was really going on, I was more disturbed by what was happening in the church. More so than I was more hurt by the church than I was by my family. And I've been hurt by them folks all my life. I was more hurt by the church, had more faith and belief in the church, more respect for the church. I was more hurt by them than I was even by the individuals in government. I never quite had faith in government like that. So it was appalling to find out that such evil, wicked, sinister things would be going on within government. Okay? But it's always been a lot of evil, wicked, sinister things going on in government. We can look back in history. Okay? Everybody's lives is not peaches and cream. We all go through something. We all have a testimony. We all have endured something stemming from our families. It's not about having a perfect life. Okay? But when you are told something, you are taught something, and you have an undying belief in something, a respect for something and certain persons and certain things, it is heartbreaking to the likes of which one can't understand when you find out otherwise of what is happening, of what is going on. The information that people are going to find out, it's going to give you the motivation and the determination for you to move and haul ass. Okay? From what you have been told, because you have been grossly lied to, you have been grossly manipulated. Okay? About several different things. And these things have, is consistently going on all the time. But many of you whom are religious or whom are Christian or whom have any type of faith base at all, you did not get this belief yesterday or overnight. This is something that has been with you since you were a child, since you could remember. You are going to begin to think back over these things. Okay? Because when the manipulation, when you find out, when you finally awaken to the manipulation, to the control, to the lies, the deception, the trickery, okay? Because throughout all this time, this is what has been going on. People have been lying to you, tricking you, misleading you, deceiving you, manipulating you, controlling you, brainwashing you, placing you under mind control. And you've just been hanging around. But this is going to give you the motivation that you need to move forward. And then you're going to begin to look back and realize just how much you have been lied to. You are going to realize the real lies and what you have been told. And what has been going on right before your very eyes here. We got the Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. It talks about competition. You got a lot of individuals who's supposed to be religious, saved, sanctified, delivered. People of the cloth, ordained, who are jealous, envious, greedy, materialistic, and in competition with one another for money, power, status, rulership. And all of these things are going to be exposed. All of these things are going to be exposed pertaining to the satanic religious, the satanic religious abuse that is going on, guys. Spirit, please give me clear and accurate messages. What other messages do we need to know pertaining to the satanic religious abuse? Yeah, money. It all boils down to money. This is why you were tricked. This is why you were lied. This is the reason why you were manipulated, you were controlled, you were brainwashed, you were traumatized. You were put under mind control. You were programmed to believe a certain way, a certain thing. And how all of these things are going on behind the scenes. And look at this. You got the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the deck. With the Eight of Swords. The Ten of Swords talks about betrayal. The church has been betrayed. Religion has been betrayed. This is betrayal. There is 10 swords in the backs of the people from the church alone. Sitting next to the Eight of Swords, which talks about one being stuck, restricted, unable to move, feeling confined within your religious beliefs, your Christian beliefs, your occult ways. Because that's what you're in, a cult. You may not like me saying it, but that's what you're in, a cult. And the only reason why you feel some type of way about me saying cult, because I guarantee you, look, check this out. Only reason, because you're like, no, it's a church. No, this is my religion. But guess what? Who told you it's called church? Who told you it's called religion? The only reason why you call it those things is because guess what? You were told it was called that. If they called it cult, if you were taught that it was cult, or cultish, you would call it that. And if I called it anything but that, you would feel the same. Mind controlled, brainwashing. You have been programmed and grossly lied to. And there are all kinds of sinister things that's going on behind the scenes. The sad thing about it is the people on the lower level who really have faith, who really believe, who are a part of certain churches, certain religious organizations, they haven't a clue. They haven't a clue what's really going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of individuals who are in religious organizations within churches right now. I'm not saying you're wrong for having faith or believing. I'm saying that you, the leaders that you have lied to you because they are in fact a part of something very evil, very wicked, very sinister behind your back. They are in secret societies where they have taken oaths and are under contract. They sold their soul to the satanic powers that be. They're in conjunction, in cooperation with the devil, with Lucifer himself. Okay? And everything that they are told to lie to you about, to persuade you about, to trick you about, they do so. That's what I am telling you. And it just happens that there's a lot of sick, twisted, degrading, despicable things that goes on behind the scenes, in between all of that, which you are going to soon find out. When leaders of your church is busted for running human sex trafficking operations and drug trafficking operations, what are you going to say then? How many more pastors need to be called out about molesting children? How many more pastors do you need to find out is actually gay? How many more pastors have to tell you that if you only drink their sperm, you will be blessed? How many more pastors is going to convince you if you only have sex with them that you will be healed? How many more pastors is it going to take? Huh? This has been going on. This ain't nothing new. You have had members, leaders within churches who have even been sacrificed and killed. Some of them were sacrificed and killed because they did not go along with the agendas of the satanic powers that be. Like Pastor Darby. Okay? You got those of them who were sacrificed and killed, like Bishop Eddie Long, which they lied to an entire congregation about. This person had a whole transgender come out and say that whenever he went on his little supposedly missionary business trips, he was having sex with him. His first lady was really a lady boy. Church covered it up. Died of AIDS. How does that happen? This stuff been going on. How many priests? Not prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law or anything. No, they're just shuffled to another parish somewhere. Every time it is found out that they are tinkling and toying and fondling with kids, little babies. This has been going on. I'm not telling you nothing that hasn't been said before. You just happen to look at everything as isolated events when it's not. This is going on in your church and in a church near you. And you can be naive and ignorant and think it's not if you want to. That's your business. I'm just a messenger. There is whole human trafficking operations being run out of churches. There's sister such and such is sleeping with brother such and such is all over the place. There's all type of gay sex and homosexual activity going, which I understand. You have a problem with. What you cannot do is call yourself a leader, stand up for people, call yourself trying to right or wrong somebody else, and you living a whole lie. Just go on, come out the closet. And be amongst all the other pride folk. Is that what you want to do? See, these things are hidden. These things are secret. And y'all find it funny when their kids come out a little funny and they come out as gay. Nobody ever questioned how since the moment you've been born, you've been raised in a religious organization all your life. That's all you know. Yet somehow you end up being gay, which is perfectly fine. But what ain't being discussed is the fact that you was turned out, which is how you ended up being that way. That's what's not being discussed. And you was turned out by individuals close to you, either in your home or in the church. But this shit is going on. Y'all can play pretend if you want to. See, yeah, far too long, these religious groups and organizations and these churches and things, they sit back and they sit up high, playing pretend like they saved, sanctified, and delivered, like they righteous and holier than thou, throwing they stones at everybody else in the damn world when they got all kind of low down, dirty, freaky, creepy do-ins going on right within the church. Satanic religious abuse. Spirit say it's betrayal. So you can sit around waiting in this hangman energy here for these lies and deceptions and manipulations to come out, for this betrayal to be uncovered, to be exposed if you want to. But you got nothing but swords all around this here. Yeah. See, you can sit and wait for this. But it's going to give you the motivation and determination to move here when these people start being apprehended. See, y'all, a lot of y'all feel stuck and confined and restricted within your religion, cults that you belong to, and different things. But Spirit say something is coming. The messenger is here. There's some type of messages, news, information, communication about what is going on, what is happening, that is coming out here, okay? And it's all about money here. Money. And these people don't work hard to get their money. I'm talking about work hard to get this money. But Spirit say, look, all of these is money cards. This is what it's all about, y'all. No matter how low down, how dirty, how sinister, how evil, how wicked. No matter the lies, the deception, the manipulation, the trickery, any of that, it's all about money. You got a money card here. The Eight of Coins talks about the money in which one makes from the work that they do. These are leaders within your church. The Seven of Coins talks about one putting in a lot of effort, working hard, waiting on this harvest to come in. Then you got the King of Coins here. See, these your pimping pastors behind the pulpit here. The King of Pentacles. Oh, he grounded, stable, and secure. He's very wealthy. How he get there? Lying, deceiving, manipulating, stealing, sneaking, creeping, freaking, ultimate betrayal, disloyalty, backstabbing. That's what's got y'all stuck and confined and restricted here. Yeah. But see, this is the reason why they sitting in concern. Even other cards told you. This the reason why the King of Pentacles here, which is your pimping pastor, your pimping leader, whoever he is, he's sitting in concern right now. Because see, this information gonna come out to the community here. Okay? How they work hand in hand with these official persons here, okay? And this is going to bring about a massive change, okay, to what they've been doing for work in order to obtain this sudden wealth cure. These people look, I keep pulling the cards. These people, look, sudden wealthy man, child. What you think it mean? What do you think sudden wealth, wealthy man, child means? In alignment. Look, that's why he's sitting in concern. That's why he's sitting in concern. That's why this tower about to collapse here. Somebody's, your satanic religious cult about to come down. Because there's about to be a major upheaval with this emperor here who been running this religious cult here. And all of these things here that's been hidden with this moon here, that's been in secret, have been done in darkness, that's been done behind the scene, behind closed doors. All this multitude of different things that you've been doing in secret here is about to be found out. And it's going to cause a whole lot of overwhelming feelings and emotions by that community that you seen here. Because it's fast communication, messages, news, and information. They're coming. I'm trying to tell you what I know. I'm trying to tell you what I know. See, these things have been hidden. These things have been secret here. What's been hidden? What's been secret here? The fact that there is about to be a sudden upheaval. A shakeup. Something tragic is about to happen. Because of this emperor here. Y'all know the emperor. This is a father figure. This is someone who's an authority, somebody who's in power. Why not a pastor? A bishop, a priest, an evangelist, apostle, whatever he called himself. About something that's been hidden. About something that's been secret here. Okay? What's been hidden? What's been secret? Things that they had going on that have to do with children. Okay. Wealthy men in power that they've been linked up with. Okay. And all this money that they've been getting from the wealthy men in power about them children. Okay. And see, this been under wraps, under guise, as they occupation. Well, occupation being here. Somebody been running a human sex trafficking operation of children as well as being involved with them sexually in this satanic religious cult under the guise of their occupation here, which would be the church. Okay? This is the reason why Spirit is saying that there is about to be a major shift, a major change that's getting ready to come within the distant horizon here. Okay? And this is the reason why you got this person here. This is that same emperor who's sitting here in concern about the community here. Knowing his connections to these official people, to this official person, which is the same as that wealthy man that I showed you. This is who he's getting all his wealth from, his money from. The community is who he's been tricking, bamboozling, getting over on, manipulating, lying to. You understand? So Spirit is saying, this 8 of coins is equivalent to that occupation card. This is what this individual do for work. This is what he's been lying about. This is where he's betrayed. Where does he work? The church. Running this religious organization. He's been working hard to keep these things covered up, to keep this money coming in, to keep people stuck, restricted, confined within this religious organization here. I mean, he got to the point where he was overly abundant by doing so, by running this operation here. But somebody about to fall to the 5 coins. After all of that, it goes to the 5 coins. This talks about abandonment. This talks about being left out in the cold. This talks about a lack of finances, money, and resources. There is something that is about to happen. That is about to occur. Okay? And that 5 of coin, behind that 5 of coin sits this tower here. That's the reason why. Because this tower is collapsing here with this emperor here. Because of these things that has been hidden. That has been secret. That's been illuminated by the moon here. I ain't making it up. I ain't making it up. You see me shuffle. You see me pull every card here. Look at this. You got the 7 of swords, the 8 of swords, the 10 of swords. Lies, deception, manipulation, control, sneaking, creeping, freaking, lying, cheating, stealing, stuck, restricted, unable to move, confined, imprisoned, ultimate betrayal, backstab. It's right here. This is what's going on. This is what is happening. And if y'all remember, you had 2 different cards. Okay, well, you seen the child card in this deck here, okay? But you have one right here, okay? Whatever ritualistic practices has been going on, okay? It's some major shit happening because you got coffin here, death here, child. Somebody then found out about something about to be exposed about some type of something going. And y'all, I spoke about this in my reading the other day. I seen this at I believe this might be, I'm not for certain, it might be at the Roman Catholic Church. But it's very well, it's at a church. Okay? Wherever this church is, they have like some type of dungeon, basement, or underground part to that church. And there are a lot of kids under there being held captive. Okay? And these kids are being used for their satanic blood sacrifice rituals. Some of them are being sold, but these kids have been kidnapped. They have been abducted. Some of them are sold to other people. And some of them are used for satanic rituals. This has been exposed. This has been found out about. And there's about to be a massive slaughter of these kids. Somebody is going to try to kill all these kids in a hurry to keep them from being found. When authorities come to apprehend them or to search or wherever, somebody is going to get rid of these kids. There's a lot of kids, y'all. They underground. It's underground some type of way, but it's under a church. It's at a church. Like you have to go through this church and go to a part of this church in order to even access the underground portal part to this church. So that's the reason why I'm saying I don't know if it's a basement or some type of dungeon or if it's just underground part of the church. But there's a lot of kids down there, y'all. Okay? They're locked in cages and different things or whatever. But many of these officials, high-ranking officials in power, it's something that's been exposed, has been exposed about this, or is a known about this amongst those of them in power. And I feel like that there is some type of, these people are worried, okay? We got message of concern here. Somebody got some type of messages that somebody is coming to search the place or to apprehend them or something here, okay? Because we got message of concern and we got concern. And whatever this is, the community going to find out about it. The world is going to find out about it, okay? But somebody is trying to get rid of all these kids, try to figure out how they can get rid of all these kids down there before these people come and search or whatever. I guess with the hopes that, even if they, people came and they was apprehended or questioned, that they wouldn't find anything there or whatever. They're trying to get away, or, trying to cover this up. I told y'all, there is a church that has been running a human sex trafficking operation from the church, y'all. There are kids that have been kidnapped and abducted that are under this church. Okay? Just searching, looking through the church, you may not find them unless they have brung some of them up there. Like, unless it's one of those huge, really huge cathedral looking type of churches, and they got brung some of them up to, got them in some type of rooms or something like that. But they are generally housed underground through the church. But the only way for you to access that underground portal under the church is through the church. Like, it's some type of something. Like, I feel like there's a certain area of the church where there's a door, and you can go like downstairs into the basement part of the church. But then from in the basement part of the church, you can go through something else, pull up something, lift up something, go down in something, and it drops off into this whole underground type of a setup under this church that's underground. Because I feel like it's even beneath a basement. But like, I feel like you will have to go in this church, find the basement in this church, go down in the basement of the church, and then from within the basement, you have to find whatever it is to go down even another level, down underground, up under there. Is where these kids is being hid at. Somebody. And see, this is the reason why these people are in despair here. Because something has been found out about what's going on or whatever. But it's a major operation. I'm telling y'all, it's a major prostitution, human trafficking operation being ran out of a church, y'all. And this could be any church. This could be any church, but whatever church it is massive, okay? It's massive. It's a big church. Whatever it is. Like, this church is massive. Like, it's huge. You see how big this is? It's huge, okay? See how we got Alone in the World, how she's out here, and this building part is so massive and big around her, but it's hidden what's inside of it, down in something. It's huge. Wherever this is at. Okay, y'all? But there's definitely satanic religious abuse that is happening. And that is going on, guys. And this is what today's message was about. Okay? So I thank you all for listening. I thank you all for watching. If you would be so kind to like, share, and subscribe, it would be greatly, greatly appreciated. For those of you who would like to contact me, you can do so at tiffanyziegler60@gmail.com or at tiff.diamonds.36@gmail.com. If you would like to follow me on Instagram, you can do so at Shine Bright Like a Diamond with the underscore between each word. Okay, guys? And if there is anyone who would like to donate to the channel, you're more than welcome to do so. I do thank you in advance. You can donate through Cash App, which is $TiffDiamond36, or through PayPal, which is paypal.me/@36diamond. Okay. I just found this one message that fell on the floor here. We have, you've been abused all your life on purpose. It was a setup all along. Okay. So this is for somebody. And it's interesting that it sit here next to the slave card, as well as unfortunate poverty here, okay? Many of these individuals who find themselves being trained, taught, forced to conform and obey to a specific religion, religious dynamic here, may or may not be aware that technically this is abuse, and they have been abused in this way their entire life, okay? And they have been forced to conform to this way of life in some type of way, okay? But there's a lot of people, especially those of them, every religious dynamic, every church dynamic, it's run, ruled, and controlled a little bit different. There's a lot of things that connect them all, like I broke down to you. But for those of them whom are, for those of you who willingly can be a part of certain religions and come and go as you please in churches and things like that, you have more of a fighting chance. You have a little bit more of hope as to escaping and getting out and freeing yourself and awakening to what is going on. I really feel for those whom are confined within these gated communities, these, hidden behind these stone walls and these, these where they're confined and they're restricted, and hidden because of their specific religion, and they're held and bound by this, and they're the ones, they get manipulated and controlled the most. Okay, manipulation and control goes on in the other churches, but there's more aspect of mind control and brainwashing in the other churches, because they have to persuade you as well in order to say groom you and to be able to do the other things to you. These churches that's like communal living, gated communities, confined, restricted type of a living and different things, there's a lot more control, abuse of power, and other things that's going on. And I worry about those individuals the most, because they eat, live, sleep there. You understand what I'm saying? With no way out, with no escape. Okay, like these people could die behind their confined, closed doors, and nobody would know. These people could die, be buried and covered up, and nobody would know that they're gone. Nobody would know that they're missing, except for the other people who's a part of their satanic religious cult, and they're of course not going to say anything. You ever notice that? You ever notice that? Neither amongst the Amish community or the Roman Catholic community, those of them whom are within the convent and different things like that, as far as like the nuns and other things like that. And there's various other groups who live just like just like those groups. Okay, just think about it. These people are not superhuman. Okay, they've had persons to die. Have you ever seen an obituary of any of them? Have you ever heard of any? No. Which means these people could be abused in any kind of way, die in any kind of way, hurt or harmed in any kind of way. And it is possible for it to smooth be covered up and the people to never know. A lot of times when it comes to people needing help or receiving help rather from people, it's based off of people knowing. You understand what I'm saying? Have you ever seen somebody who is enduring some type of trauma, some type of abuse, some type of something, and nobody is aware? Nobody knows. How do you know to help this person if you don't even know that they're going through something? So this is how these things are hidden. Even when it comes to these people getting sick or hurting themselves, from an incident or accident or something in some type of way, they have ways to cover this up. Either not getting these people medical treatment, or either those of them who are more wealthy paying private doctors and different things, and nurses and different things to come there and treat them. But nobody is knowing. Public isn't knowing that, hey, this person is in distress and needs some other type of help. You understand what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure there has been people, say, within your Amish community, who have fallen ill and may have needed some type of surgery or something that a doctor or surgeon or something could only provide for you at the hospital, and those persons were left there to die. Okay? Because their religious cult, oh, we're just going to believe, we're just going to pray, and these people died. Okay? But that's according to their specific beliefs. Okay? But does it not fall along the lines of abuse? How can you not get someone medical attention? Okay? If any one of you, it doesn't matter what your religious beliefs are right now. If you have a kid and your kid got sick and you refuse to help them, whether give them some type of medicine or take them to see their pediatrician or take them to a children's hospital or get them some type of help, you refuse to do that, and your kid died, guess what? Nobody gives a damn about your religious beliefs, because the police will then come and arrest your ass and you will be thrown in jail for neglect of your child. Imagine how many other people in these confined satanic religious cults who have been neglected from help, assistance, or things that they've needed, even if it's nothing more than to get the hell out of there. And they have been abandoned and neglected and didn't receive such help. Why? Because the predators, who are the leaders of their cults, refuse to allow it. Thus, these people likely died or suffered from injuries and different things without being helped or treated in any kind of way. And I guarantee you, it's been a many of persons who have died and it has not been reported. No obituary, no anything. It hasn't been reported. They died. They disposed of the body, however. Who knows? They may have some type of incinerator type of thing and cremate bodies, once they pass away or something, and turn them into ash, to dust, okay? Or they may just, have some type of super cemetery where they just bury bodies one on top of the other as they go. You don't know with all the other sinister things that's going on. But this is possible with those of them who are within these satanic religious cults and communities that are confined and restricted and held hostage, bound based off their satanic religious beliefs in their gated communities and their restricted, confined way of living and being. It's crazy. It's a lot of things that's hidden, people. A lot of things that's hidden that's going to come to the light, okay? And it's going to blow many things wide open pertaining to the supposed Christian community, to the supposed religious community. Okay? Y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other, but most of all, take care of your babies. Remember, this is a wicked, wicked world that we live in. There is wickedness in high places, and there is evil that's lurking around each and every corner, even in a neighborhood near you. So y'all watch your surroundings, watch the company you keep, watch the surroundings and the company in which your children are in as well. And considering the fact that you never know when somebody may betray you, backstab you, try to hurt you, or harm you, keep you some protection on you. Y'all stay awake, stay aware, stay vigilant, and stay prepared. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, baby. Until the next time, peace, love, and light. Namaste. I am that I am, created in the image of God. Mind control. That's what they got these people under. Satanism. Satanic powers that be, witchcraft, sorcery, black magic, voodoo, they're sellouts. They are chained to the devil and linked to the satanic powers that be, linked to demons, as well as various different things that they are partaking in, guys. Okay, there's a lot of burdens that is placed upon those of them whom are within these secret organizations here. Okay, the moon, a lot of things that's hidden, a lot of things that's kept secret. Okay, one is going to need strength, courage, balance. Okay, because these people have endured a lot. This speaks to stability here. Okay, people are going to need strength when the information is released about what is really going on when it comes to satanic religious abuse. Till the next time, guys, peace, love, and light. Namaste.